Hello world, Cossy here with this week's roundup of Geek movie news, starting off with The Avengers. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen the new trailer for the Avengers movie, there's a little link right here. You can click out and go and watch it, and I really do advise you do watch it because it's a fantastic trailer. It's got me even more excited about seeing this movie than I thought possible. It looks amazing, and please God, let's all hope that the film can be as good as the trailer, because if it is, it's going to be amazing and it's going to make a bucket load of money at the box office. Okay, next up this week is The Wolverine. Now, Hugh Jackman again has been talking about this sequel to X-Men Origins Wolverine, this time saying that we might see a movie that has two actual cuts. One being a, if you're in the UK, 12A, in the US, PG-13 cut, which we'd expect, so that fans of the series who are younger will get to see the movie, and obviously Fox are hoping to make a lot of money off that sort of demographic, the teenage demographic. But we could also see an R-rated or an 18-rated, if you're in the UK, cut of the Wolverine. From what Jackman has said, there is possibility for a lot more violence, gore, scenes of an adult nature. And if that happens, we may very well see two cuts of the movie. Now, I very much doubt we'll see two cuts of the movie in theatres. It is more likely that it will get a PG-13 12A cut released in cinemas, make a bucket load of money hopefully for Fox, and then DVD and Blu-ray will get the extended R-rated, 18-rated version of the movie, which obviously brings people into stores, onto online stores, to buy the movie that they've already seen, even if they weren't going to buy the DVD or Blu-ray. Could be very clever marketing here from Fox. If they do this and they do it right, they could end up making a lot more money than they already will, because it's a Wolverine movie. I mean, people are going to go and see it. It's fairly standard. It's going to make a bucket load of money. Okay, some Thor II news this week. Now, Thor II has had its release date pushed back. Originally scheduled to be released on the 26th of July 2013, it will now be released on the 15th of November 2013. And that is because of the Lone Ranger movie. Disney's needed to reshuffle things around for the 2013 schedule, because the Lone Ranger movie isn't going to hit its predicted release date of the December 2012. Instead, it's going to get pushed back into May of 2013, and Disney don't want to risk having too many big budget movies out at similar time, so they've pushed back Thor 2 until November. Now, you may say that leaves a slot open in July, which it does, and that will be filled now by the second Phineas and Ferb movie. Good. That's good for me. I love Phineas and Ferb. I don't care who knows it. It's a fantastic animated series, and another movie that's all good in my books, even if it means we have to wait a little bit longer for what will no doubt be a fantastic sequel to Thor. Okay, next up this week, we've got some news on the Robocop reboot. Now, director Jose Padilla has come out and stated that he will not use the script that was originally written by Darren Aronofsky when Aronofsky was going to direct this reboot to the Robocop franchise. Instead, he will be looking for a new script. Now, nothing's been confirmed as of yet, but it is very likely that Padilla will actually be involved in writing the new script, and he's already stated himself he has his own vision on how this Robocop reboot should happen, should take place, what the story should be like. Some good news though, he's come out and said that the title character Robocop will be Alex Murphy, the same character from the original trilogy of movies. Obviously they're not going to be using the same actor, as this is a reboot. He's also said that the movie will reflect some of the current political issues going on in the world. Now, that's something that the original, the first Robocop movie, and even to an extent the second Robocop movie did, which is good. We hopefully won't be bogged down with the sort of political side. But so far those two things are both positives in my book. Although I don't see why we need to reboot Robocop. The original especially is a fantastic movie, and the second one is very, very strong as well. We don't need to reboot it, but this is just my opinion, and Hollywood likes reboots, probably because they're easier to do than to buy some original scripts and make original movies. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah, I did. Okay, some Tom Cruise news this week. Now, apparently the king of Scientology himself, he's already signed up to play a major role in the post-apocalyptic film Horizons. He's also in negotiations with Warner Brothers to take up a major role in the film We Are Mortals. Now, this film is based on the novel All You Need Is Kill. The premise of the movie is that Cruise will play a new recruit in a war between humanity and an alien invading force, and during a battle he gets stuck in a time loop, and he must relive the same day and the same battle over and over and over again until he can find a way out of it. Basically, it's Groundhog Day with some science fiction thrown in. For me, just worried about the premise of it. I don't know how it will work. I don't think it's a fantastic premise. Obviously the light novel itself has sold reasonably well, or well enough for it to be made into a movie, but I can't see it at the moment working particularly well. However, Tom Cruise, he might be a bit of a Fruit Loop, but he's a fantastic actor, and if anyone can pull off this kind of project and this kind of role, this is the guy to do it. I'm a huge fan of Cruise where it comes to acting. I might not agree with some of the other things he's done in his private life, and maybe not even his crazy Scientology views, but he's a fantastic actor. We've got to give him that, and we've got to give him a chance. This is maybe a renaissance in his career, especially with the new Mission Impossible coming out. Some 20th Century Fox release date news has hit the web this week. 3 films have been announced, all of which are sequels. Liam Neeson's Taken 2, the action thriller, that will be released on October the 5th, 2012. Then we've got the new Die Hard movie, which finally has a name. It's going to be called A Good Day to Die Hard. That will be released on February the 14th, 2013. And then the new Percy Jackson movie, Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters, will be released on March the 26th, 2013. So all 3 of those movies now have release dates. And going back to Die Hard, now quite a lot of buzz online about this new movie, and the fact that McClane's son, the character John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, whoever plays his son may very well inherit the franchise for the future. Now, basically they're talking about McClane maybe retiring or even being killed off at some point in the near future, and his son being a character to take over the franchise and maybe, produce some more sequels. There's 3 people who have been linked heavily with that role. They are Aaron Paul, Paul Dano and Ben Foster. Now, at the moment, Aaron Paul seems to be the name that most people think will get the role of McClane's son in this new Die Hard movie, but nothing has been confirmed. Once it is confirmed, guys, obviously, as always, I will let you know. Some Green Lantern 2 sequel news. Now, last weekend was New York Comic Con, and Jeff Johns, DC comic book writer and chief creative officer, he was there talking a little bit about the possibility of a Green Lantern sequel. Basically, he said nothing's set in stone and he wants to see it happen, but he couldn't confirm that it would definitely happen. It's just something that is an idea that people are working on. Now, that is a very different tact to what we've heard in the past, where people involved with DC and also with the original movie have come out and said, we will definitely see a sequel. It will happen soon, it will be different from the first in this way or that way. For those of you who didn't see my review for the first movie, there's a link just there. You can click out and see what I thought about the first movie and what I think they should change if they're going to make a sequel. But yeah, now it's not seemingly set in stone. What I think is, obviously there was poor box office performance compared to what they expected from the first movie. Maybe they're waiting to see how much money it brings in from DVD and Blu-ray sales. They could even wait and see how much interest the actual animated series that will be part of the DC Nation animated block on Cartoon Network gets. before they announce a sequel to this movie. Hopefully, if this sequel gets made, they will bear in mind all the problems of the first movie anyway. If not, maybe it goes back into a draw for a couple of years and we get a reboot. That's a worst case scenario, guys, and I'd rather have that than have another terrible Green Lantern movie. Some good news from John's at New York Comic Con is that Robot Chicken will be making a special DC Universe episode, very similar to the episodes they've done around the Star Wars movies, and that is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Robot Chicken. I've been watching it since it first started. I've got all the DVDs, and I cannot wait to see what they can do with the DC Universe characters. I mean, they've already done some shorts with them, but a whole 30-minute, maybe 45-minute episode sounds like a good idea to me. Keep it up, guys. Some Transformers news this week, and that is that Hasbro are in negotiations to make a 4th instalment of the movie franchise. The CEO of Hasbro, Brian Goldner, he has already opened negotiations with Paramount Pictures, with Michael Bay and with Steven Spielberg about making a 4th instalment of Transformers. And yeah, I mean, this is something I predicted pretty quickly after the last one came out, especially when they announced how much money the last one had made. And it looks like my predictions were correct. It should be no surprise to anyone that something that makes money, and these movies do make a lot of money, both for Paramount and for Hasbro, is possibly getting a 4th instalment. But it's in negotiations. It's gonna happen, hopefully. And yeah, there's gonna be possibly a 4th instalment of Transformers coming to cinemas in the near future. Right, some Bond 23 news to round off this week's Geek Movie News, and that's casting news. That is that Javier Bardem is going to be taking a major role in the next James Bond movie. Now, nothing's confirmed about who he will be playing, but plenty of speculation online that he will actually be the main villain of the piece. For me, this is a great thing. He is a really good actor. He will be perfect foil for Daniel Craig's Bond, and hopefully this means that we're going to have another successful Bond movie. Okay guys, that's all for this week's Geek Movie News. As always, there is the like button. If you like this, click on it, let me know. If you've got something to say about some of the news maybe in this video, or you've spotted some stories you think should be covered in next week's video, then leave a comment in the comment boxes down there. If you click in the description box down there, you'll also find a link to my Facebook fan site. Become a fan of me on Facebook, find out when the next videos and other things that are happening in the world of this channel and of geek movies are going on. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, you can click subscribe up there, or you can click just on my face here and you will subscribe to my channel. If you missed last week's Geek Movie News, the link is there. The link to my Warrior review is there, and the link to my Green Lantern Emerald Knight review is there, so you can click out if you've missed them and watch them right now or anytime in the future. Until next time, guys, au revoir.